So the myofascial lines are great for a number of different things, but I think from a observation and a perspective approach, we can look at these as essentially being functional maps to the body. So this is, very beneficial for evaluation, assessment, exercise programming, exercise selection, and then obviously training concepts, stretching mobility concepts and applications. With the myofascial lines, we're looking at 8 to 10 different lines or chains. And for me, I divide these up between 4 primary lines and then 4 secondary lines. So for our four primary lines, starting out with the anterior line, the thing about for all of the fascial lines is we are going to see connection from the feet to the hands all the way throughout the body, and these generally have kind of cross body or diagonal patterns to them. So for the functional anterior line, we're kind of thinking about the medial aspect of the foot, medial aspect of the lower leg, the quad muscles coming in through the hip flexor, and then so if we're looking at this right lower leg, we're going to see kind of a crossover in the abdomen, and then kind of coming through the chest, all the way through the pec minor, and then kind of coming out from the SCMs here down through the line of the arm. And then obviously we have the opposing line coming from the left leg to the right hand. So the key muscle groups here: medial gastrocs, anterior tibialis, quads, flexors, serratus, pec minor, and then that arm chain. Number 2, if you want to go ahead and turn this way here, we have our lateral line. So for the lateral line, we are thinking kind of running from the peroneal group of the lower leg, coming in through some of the lateral aspects of the quadriceps, and then the lateral biceps group of the hamstrings here. We're thinking about all of those smaller hip abductor muscles here coming in through the obliques, and then if we have Kai just kind of reach up here, coming up through the lat muscle here, and then we kind of include some of the tricep muscle here as well. The lateral line, we're thinking about kind of bending the body, rotation, anti-rotation. Number 3, we have posterior line. So again, we kind of start down at the base of the calcaneus, coming up the gastrocs and calf muscles, popliteus. Here on the back line, we're going to think a little bit more about the medial group of the hamstring, glute max, coming through the erectors. We'll throw the QL in there. QL kind of floats between lateral posterior lines, working up through the rhomboids and kind of getting into some of the lower trapezius muscles, and then finishing off at the occipital at the base of the skull. And then on the 4th line, if we want to turn back to Tim, the 4th line is the spiral line. The spiral line is all encompassing. There's a lot of different involvement here, but for the spiral line, we're essentially kind of thinking about, wrapping on the medial aspect of the body, and then kind of the coiling effect of the core. So we're thinking about some of those deeper core muscles, adductor oblique relationships. On the back side, we're thinking about some of the paraspinal muscles. And for the spiral line, it's really everything, every motion that we can think of or create, spiral line is going to be involved there.